Hello, my name is Barrick Lugo, and I did my course theme on teachers, teachers' education, teacher pay, and teaching during COVID, and how it affected everyone. Teachers, as you know, are a big pillar to society. They might be one of the most important professions we know, because they're here to teach future generations that will lead us to a brighter future. We all have that story about that one teacher that changed our life, whether it was guiding us through difficult classes, helping us with homework, or just giving us life advice in general. In that sense, teachers play a huge role in our life. For me, it was my history teacher, and he's the one that got me into history. The thing about teaching is you're a teacher for 24 hours out of the day. And what I mean by that is with other professions, you can just clock in and clock out, put in your honest 8 hours. You don't even really have to believe in what you're doing. You just have to do what the boss says. But when it comes to teaching, you really have to believe in your student. You have to help them thrive. And it is literally your job to make sure that they don't fail. Teachers are not only expected to teach curriculum, but they're also expected to teach students life skills. When kids get out of hand, they have to play the role of disciplinarian. When there's an argument or a disagreement in the classroom, they have to be the counselor. They have to counsel these kids and to make right decisions. They have to advocate for their well-being and overall just be a good role model. Sometimes teachers are the only adults that students get to talk to and actually feel like they're heard. If students express anger or, they don't understand a certain problem, then they feel like if they tell their teacher or ask their teacher for help, then they're going to be heard. Teaching took a bit of a hit during COVID. I don't think most of us realized, not just for education, but teaching as a profession. A lot of teachers didn't want to come back the following year after COVID, and a lot of children fell behind. The reason a lot of teachers didn't want to come back after COVID was because of the different style of teaching and how it changed the original format of what they were originally taught, that when COVID hit, they didn't know how to react. During COVID, students were sent home to teach themselves. Yes, they had time with the teacher, but most kids were either home alone or home alone with younger siblings that they had to babysit because both parents worked. This was a big paradigm switch when it came to education. And teachers and students alike were not ready for it. This paradigm switch not only affected their education, but also their emotional and social well-being. During that time, when kids were sent home due to COVID, students were not allowed to build bonds and camaraderie with other students. And I think at that age, especially in elementary school, that kind of socializing and interactions with your classmates are vital. They help you navigate the world and deal with other people. The thing is, COVID caused a global pandemic, and none of us were ready for that. And the people that suffered the most or had a difficult time during that were students and teachers. None of us were ready, and we all took a major hit. When we think of elementary schools, I think of them not only as a place for academic instruction, but also as a place to develop interpersonal skills. It's also a great way for students to get into extracurricular activities such as sports, science. If teachers are so important to society and our kids spend a lot of time with them, then why doesn't their pay reflect that? The thing about teachers is that they are often underpaid, undervalued, and overworked, and that should not be the case. Teachers are literal superheroes, and their pay should reflect that. Teachers I know in my personal life, when I ask them, what are you guys' plans for the summer break? A lot of them, especially the younger ones, will say, oh, well, I'm going to pick up a few extra shifts just to make a little extra spending money. And that begs the question, how can teachers focus on helping the students when they're preoccupied with making ends meet and paying the bills? People that have the same education as teachers very often get paid more. The thing about this is that teacher pay isn't the same across the board. Schools in higher socioeconomic neighborhoods can pay more and don't have trouble keeping their teachers because they're in a nicer neighborhood, as opposed to those in a poorer neighborhood often struggle to keep teachers because of the pay and the circumstances of the neighborhood, which isn't fair for the children. We should advocate for the highest caliber of educators in the classroom. I think it is a disservice to future generations if we don't change the playbook when it comes to preparing educators. The requirements for teaching are a good foundation to build on, but there's not enough hands-on experience to prepare the teacher. By developing a culture of continuous learning, districts and policymakers can empower teachers and help them navigate the complexities of the ever-changing world of education with confidence. By doing this, schools can make sure teachers are truly ready to give students the best education possible.